points, defeated Sharon Angle in her own county, her own hometown of Reno.
Wow.
70% of the votes come out of Clark County, and they are believing that this was obviously the big county that delivered for Harry Reid. Big win for the Democrats, and he is the knight in shining armor for the Democrats tonight.
And I guess there's some irony to this, of course, Ed, because I suppose a year ago, if you had looked at the Senate and the House and said which of these two leaders, Speaker Pelosi or Majority Leader Reid, would retain that, which would be the firmest guarantee into the midterms of 2010, you probably would have gone with the Speaker of the House. And now Harry Reid, in a quiet kind of not ebullient, not a gigantic personality, style both of management of his position and his own Senate seat, coming out prevailing, surviving in what otherwise has been a mixed night at best for the Democrats. This is, against any Republican candidate, this would be a pretty good thumping on the part of Harry Reid.
Yeah, and the irony of it is that the Senate has just gone through a record number of filibusters, not able to get a whole lot done because of the obstruction. And over on the House, where Nancy Pelosi is not going to be the Speaker, they've passed somewhat 240 bills. I mean, if you're looking for legislative accomplishments, Nancy Pelosi delivered the mail. On the other hand, if you're looking for legislative accomplishments for a Harry Reid Majority Leader Senate run by Harry Reid, it's health care. It's the Ledbetter bill, the equal pay for women. It's the stimulus package, which was really the tire around their neck here in Nevada because of 15% unemployment in Las Vegas. I mean, that is a huge number. The Democratic base delivered for Harry Reid. The workers delivered for Harry Reid. I think we're going to be able to look back at the controversial comment that Sharon Angle made about Latinos looking like Asians in that classroom, and how she was so stubborn in dealing with the media. I will tell you this, the sense I get on the ground, if you had said 2 days ago in Las Vegas that Harry Reid was going to win, you'd have almost been laughed out of town. This is a remarkable ground game paying off. This is a remarkable effort by the Reid people to never give up. They just fought like hell to get the vote out, and they are victorious tonight. It is really an amazing story. A state where unemployment is high, a state that relies on three industries: tourism, which is down, mining, which is getting better, and of course, agriculture, which is very small in this state. Keith?
Ed, I have to interrupt you because we have another call to make, and it's for Governor of California, and everything old is new again in the state of California. The polling is in, and our projection is that Jerry Brown will return to the State House in Sacramento in a gain for the Democrats from Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know if he'd classify himself as a Republican right now after some of his speeches, but with 28% of the vote in, the hard numbers over Meg Whitman, 4%. Hard to say where this one has been decided. There were so many different elements in this, but obviously a campaign in which the Republican comes out and waxes nostalgic about the day she moved in and how wonderful California was when she moved in there 30 years ago, when the man she's running against was governor the first time. That's pretty unanswerable, at least from an advertising point of view. Quite an outcome there. Somebody who moved into California 5 years after Meg Whitman, I know what she was talking about.
Well, already $100 a vote.
Yes.
More than $100 a vote there.
But she also created a lot of jobs. I mean, you spend that many millions of dollars. Some campaign consultants are much better off than they were before this game.
No Democrat had more money spent against him than Jerry Brown, and it never hurt him.
And it proves that the buy it now button doesn't always work on eBay. I just wanted to.
On the Harry Reid win, can I just say that the Harry Reid surviving is such a disastrous loss for the Republican Party, it is almost hard to overstate. With the worst unemployment in the country, with Harry Reid's numbers as bad as you can possibly get and still be standing as a politician, for the Republican Party to have collapsed against him, for him to have pulled this off, is stunning. I mean, Karl Rove came in and tried to run the Get Out the Vote effort for Sharon Angle in Nevada because the Republican Party party there. Who's the head of it? Jim Gibbons lost the primary for governor, and John Ensign, better not spoken of in Family Hour. So we've got a collapse of the Republican Party. They couldn't get it together. They tried to carry it nationally. This was going to be their marquee race for tonight. This was going to be the way they rubbed Democrats' noses in it, and Sharon Angle just got killed. She ran the most racist ads that I've seen in 10 years in a major party race in this country, and she got killed.
They ran the wrong candidate.
Right.
I mean, they should have run.
Why did they run her hard?
Sue Lowden. I mean,
Sue Lowden would have been tough.
She would have been
Chickens
a tougher
for
candidate.
might have been better.
This is why the Reid campaign celebrated when Sharon Angle got the nomination.
Yep.
They knew this is the only way they could win. You know, in a regular year, he would have beaten her by much more. I mean, this is close for someone as flaky as Sharon Angle running against the majority
This is who
leader.
the Republican Party put up, and they got creamed.
We have a number on the race in Nevada from our friends at Voto Latino. The 90 percentile vote total in the Latino vote in Nevada for Harry Reid. And to address that and several other topics, we're joined by Governor Bill Richardson of New Mexico, who's been standing by patiently as these last couple of results have rolled out. I'm sure to your great delight that you've been able to sit there and watch this happen, of course.
Well, yes, and I was in Reno about a week ago with the Latino community. I could sense the intensity. And while Republicans are going to crow about electing maybe 2 elected statewide officials around the country, the Latino vote, I believe, at least in the West, has stayed with the Democrats. Jerry Brown in California, Barbara Boxer, very strong Latino votes. Harry Reid, you mentioned, this is a state with a growing Hispanic population, not just in Las Vegas and in the urban areas, but in the rural areas as well, the Latino vote. In Colorado, I was out there in Pueblo in southern Colorado. 30% of that state is Hispanic. It looks like it's going very strongly for Bennett. A lot of those Latinos are in the Denver suburbs. So I believe despite the crowing of Republicans of electing, unfortunately in my state, a Republican governor, a Latina woman, in Nevada against Harry Reid's son, interestingly, a Hispanic attorney general, and in Rubio in Florida, the gains of Democrats with Hispanic voters is going to stay, I believe, nationally at about 65%, which is a nice cushion for Democrats in the future, and I think augurs well for President Obama's reelection in a couple of years.
Is there any way, Governor, to assess how and how many different levels some of those comments that Sharon Angle made, which she must have thought were somehow working to her advantage or were overtures in front of the groups of Hispanic youths in Nevada, how many different ways that was managing to step on a rake that would then hit her in the forehead?
Well, when I was in Reno, I picked up a lot of that, the resentment, that they were put in a category that they felt was unfortunate. The same in California with the problem that Meg Whitman had with her maid, with that woman who unfortunately was maligned. And I believe that provoked a real reaction among Hispanic voters. And so the tendencies of Republicans to be anti-immigrant, against immigration reform, I believe it's going to stay very costly for them. Although, look, they did elect 3 Hispanics statewide, and they're none from the Democratic Party. I'm gone in January. I'm disappearing. So that is a symbolic victory for them, but still the numbers of Latinos staying with the Democratic Party is good. But now I think President Obama and the Democrats have to produce sometime next year comprehensive immigration reform in a bipartisan way. Call it triangulation. I know you guys don't like that word, but for a Hispanic, that is an essential policy that we need to have, along with improved education and health care. My last point on Hispanic voters, they don't just care about immigration. They care about jobs. They care about the American dream. They care about health care. They care about housing. So it's not one issue that dominates the Hispanic voter.
You know, Governor, I'm looking at our exit poll numbers in terms of ethnicity and age, and it is striking. Her appeal clearly at the end was toward the Anglo voter, the white voter, if you will, with with that very screeching ad against made all Hispanic immigrants look like criminals coming across the border, you know. But look at the number here. 58% among white men went for Angle. 51% of white women. Then you go Hispanics about 2 to 1 for Harry Reid. And then you go age-wise. Now, this is fascinating, too. Everybody above middle age, older than middle age, voted for her, and all the younger people of all groups apparently voted for him. That's a fascinating look at what looks to be the future of that state. It seems like the future is Democratic, Nevada.
Well, yes, and I think that's a national issue too, Chris, because if President Obama can keep that coalition that he had of young, Hispanic, African American, independent voters, it augurs well for his reelection. And what Republicans are going to have to do now that they have the House is they're going to have to co-govern. They can't just be the party of no. They've got to have their alternative budgets. They're going to have to put something through on taxes, on Afghanistan. You know, I noticed your interview, Keith, with Eric Kenner. He didn't answer anything, and they can't keep doing that. If they keep doing that, they're going to go down, and we'll be back 2 years from now with another Republican debacle as happened 2 years ago.
Governor Bill Richardson of New Mexico, great thanks.
Thank you.
And we appreciate your perspective on all this, and it's always a pleasure, so thank you much. We're going to take a break. We'll now be anticipating a speech shortly from Senator Harry Reid, maintaining his office, and we'll be updating you on Colorado and the Washington Senate races as the Democrats have put 50 Senate seats in their pocket, plus the 2 independents. Stand by for more of MSNBC's midterm coverage.
MSNBC, the place for politics, welcomes our global audience to coverage of the midterm elections 2010.
From the day we're born, we really do know where we're headed. That doesn't mean, however, it's always easy. But when we understand what's happening around us, we lose our fear and we move ahead. After all, we were built to evolve. We were not made to sit still.
I'm a hot babe out jogging. I'm out making sure this stays a 10 when you drive by. You're checking out my awesome headband when... Oops. That's when you find out your cut rate insurance, it ain't paying for this. So get Allstate. Save cash and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Dollar for dollar, nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate.
I'm the numbers guy, but it's more than that. You have to look past the numbers, understand the variables. You have to consider everything.
What'd you get?
I got 160 and 14.
Yeah.
174.
Yep.
Wind's coming a little bit in out of the left.
Work with people who help you see the big picture, and you'll make better decisions.
I like 7.
I like 7, yes.
This is the power of being understood. This is McGladrey.
Opportunity is a powerful force. Set it in motion, and it goes out into the world like fuel for the economy. One opportunity leading to another and another. We all have a hand in it, because opportunity can start anywhere and go everywhere. Let's keep it moving.
The Vanilla Caramel Latte from Maxwell House International Cafe. The 60-calorie way to stop your world.
Scope Outlast. It's about time for a mouthwash that lasts even longer. Now that fresh breath feeling lasts up to 5 times longer. What will you outlast?
Find all your vehicle services at the Auto Plaza on Airport Road near Cass. At K&M Tires, get a set of 4 quality used tires, mounted and balanced for under $200 on most vehicles. Huge selection of new and quality used tires to meet all your needs. Lens USA Automotive Service is a fully equipped repair center. Mufflers, brakes, shocks, and everything else you need to keep your vehicle running smoothly. Performance Plus Quick Lube provides a quick and convenient full-service oil change